Today I want to talk to you about reliable ratios and rates. I want to go ahead and do number one with you, and then I'm going to help you set up a few of the problems so that way you can get started. Alright, first problem. A car travels 350 miles in 5 hours at a constant rate. At what rate did the car travel in miles per 1 hour? Okay, so there's two components to this problem. We have miles and we have hours. So what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead, set up your proportions, okay? Set up your proportions, and I want to go ahead and label, because labeling is going to help me know where to put the numbers. So I'm going to talk about, we can do miles on this side, and we're going to do hours right here, okay? And I can do miles right here, hours right here. Okay. Of course, you could always do miles over miles, hours over hours. You can change it up. You don't have to set it up the way that I'm doing it. But for the sake of this problem, go ahead and set it up this way. Okay, so first I'm going to read this sentence right here. It travels 350 miles in 5 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and in this first, everything on the left side of the equal sign, I'm going to go ahead and plug in these numbers. So 350 is talking about my miles, so I know that I'm going to put 350 right here. Okay, now I have hours, and I know that I'm talking about hours here, so it's 5 hours, so I'm going to put 5 right here. Okay. Now, it says in the question, at what rate did the car travel in miles per 1 hour? So we have 1 hour right here, so I'm going to plug in 1. Alright, now, like we did today in class, I had a box, and we were supposed to figure it out. So, let's go ahead. We always draw the arrow towards the box. So I'm going to draw an arrow towards the box. Okay? In this situation, on an arrow, we have the tip of the arrow, which is right here, and we have the back of the arrow or the bottom of the arrow. Okay? So the tip of the arrow starts with a T, so we're going to put T. The back of the arrow starts with a B, so we put a B right here. Okay? Now let's set up a fraction. We have a fraction because we got to figure out the scale factor, what's happening here. So we know that T stands for tip, but it can also stand for the top of the fraction. So I'm going to put a 1 right here, okay? And I also know that the back also stands for bottom. So this number right here is going to be at the bottom, okay? So right now I know that my scale factor, SF, is going to be 1/5, okay? So I know that if I multiply, okay, by 1/5 on the bottom, 5 times 1/5 is 1. Now I have to do 350 times 1/5. Okay? Now, if you need to pull it off to the side, do that. Okay? So I need to do 350 times 1/5. Now, the problem is that I have a whole number and I have a fraction. So how do I change this whole number to become a fraction? I put it over 1. Okay? Then I'm just going to multiply straight across. That's going to give me 350 over 5. Okay? Now, I'm dividing. So, what you should have learned from this is multiplying times 1/5 is the same as saying dividing, it's the same as dividing by 5. So, over here, because I did not make a lot of room for myself, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to do 350 divided by 5. That ends up giving me 70. Okay? So I have 70. So that means that 350 times 1/5 is 70. So my final answer is in 1 hour I can travel 70 miles. So I'm going to write 70 miles over here as my answer. I'm going to block it off. Okay? So 70 miles in 1 hour. So at that rate, how far can the car travel in 8 hours? So in 1 hour we travel 70 miles. So guys, what do? In 1 hour we travel 70 miles. How many in 8? And obviously I know that that means I'm multiplying 70 times 8 hours, which gives me 560 miles. Okay, so I have done 2, and I'm going to go ahead and set up the second one for you, A, and then I want to see if you can figure out B and C before tomorrow's video. Okay, so the two things we're talking about are pounds and money. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my proportion box. I'm going to go ahead and put pounds over money, and of course you don't have to set it up this way. This is the way I'm setting it up. So we're going to talk about this sentence, 3 pounds. I know pounds is right here, so I'm going to put the 3 next to it because that's what represents pounds. And it equals, the cost of 3 pounds is $4.05. $4.05. Okay? And then it says, what is the unit price? Unit price means 1. Okay? So what would 1 pound cost? Okay? And then this is my box. Now I want to see if you can go ahead and use the strategies from number 1 to solve 2A. And go ahead and do B and C. And tomorrow I will have another video with more problems.